Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. Welcome to Ricky VRTV with Spursuasion TV and Shelfside Spurs. With me today is the legend that is Eugene and another legend who is just coming in.
Yeah, I'm here.
Oh, okay, it's good now.
Otherwise known as Aussie Idealless. I like that one.
Yeah,
I robbed it from somewhere. I can't remember where.
Absolutely brilliant. How are we, gentlemen?
I'm fine, thank you.
yeah, fine. Apart from, to tell you the truth, right, Stamford Bridge is that we don't expect much from that, right? So it is what it is. All I can say.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
I've been to the bridge twice. One of them was the one where the ball didn't go over the line when Aurelio Gomez fumbled it, and the other one was we lost 3-0, but we had a good sing-song. But yeah, it's not a happy hunting ground for us.
Yeah.
So I'd like to start off today with on this day in Spurs history.
Oh, that's good.
And 1968.
My God, that's my birth year.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay. The 6th of April. Spurs 6, Southampton 1.
Wow. Yeah.
Kev, were you at that one?
No, I started going, but I didn't go regularly because I was still a junior schoolboy, I was very young. I was only 13, I think. And I went.
Yeah, okay.
I didn't have the money, really. Yeah, to go every week.
I think you missed a good one there.
I always did, yeah.
Kev, you didn't have 2 pence at that time?
No. No, it wasn't.
What?
How
much was the tickets
a lot of money?
Was it a Saturday game, yeah?
I believe so. Yep, Saturday, 6th of April, 3 o'clock kickoff.
Yeah, I could have been playing in the morning sport for my second string rugby team for school.
Okay.
It could be anything like that. Yeah.
Oh, you played rugby, did you? I didn't know that.
I didn't play it. I avoided playing it. Yeah. I played it out on the wing and stayed away from the ball as much as possible.
Okay, that's a good idea.
Probably safer, yeah.
In 1968, right? I mean, what were the prices of the tickets then?
Well, when I first went in 65, it was 1 and 6pence, which is 7.5p.
And the programme is 6pence.
That's 2.5p.
Yep. Okay.
Yeah.
So bloody hell. Yeah, those are the days. So the lineup: Pat Jennings in goal, Phil Beale at right back, Cyril Knowles, nice one, Cyril, left back. Right half, Alan Mullery, centre half, Mike England, left half, Dave Mackay. Right wing, Alan Gilzine, inside right, Jimmy Greaves, striker, Martin Chivers, inside left, Terry Venables, and left wing, Cliff Jones. Bloody hell, I would kill to have half that team at the moment.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think half the team is already dead, right?
Well, that's true, yeah. Sorry. Yeah, they probably do better than most of our lot. Definitely better than Madison.
Must have been a young Martin Chivers in that team then.
Yeah.
I was going to say, I didn't realise. I thought Jimmy Greaves was always a striker. Did he play inside right?
Yeah.
Okay.
8 or 10.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, the famous old 2-3-5, which was then brought along with Aussie Idealless back in the 90s, and at the start of Angie's reign when he was actually playing what is commonly known as handball.
We've been playing handball since 1968.
Yeah, way ahead of his time, like Martin Peters.
Yeah, they absolutely. He knew he was going to be a legend then in his own lunchbox.
Yeah.
Oh, so, okay. What do we want to talk about first? Do we want to talk about the debacle at the bridge? Should we go straight on to the protest? What do you fancy?
Yeah, we just go to the debacle at the bridge first. Then the protest will come in the last part because then it'll join into the protest along. Yeah.
Okay. Right, so there's the lineup. You'd have to say, apart from Kulusevski, that is probably, and maybe Johnson instead of Odeberg, that is probably our first 11 playing there.
Yeah.
And don't forget Spence and Porro the change, right? So
yes, yeah, because Porro's fallen off a little bit, and but what happened? Again, they came out and they didn't look like they had a clue what was going on.
No, strangers in the night.
Yeah, and I did the watch along, right? For the first 2-3 minutes, right? We were there. We looked like it was happening, and then, like I predicted again, right? We just petered off until oblivion again. So I don't know what's wrong with our players. Is it our tactics, or is just our players just being stupid again? That's all.
He's lost the dressing room, hasn't
he? Yeah.
It looks like it.
Yeah.
They don't know what to do. They're clueless. They're front. They're making a mistake. They're not proactive in any way whatsoever. Even Solanke's lost it now. You know, he's hardly had a touch in the whole game when he played. You know,
so like Solanke was playing midfield, bro. That's the scary thing.
Yeah. He's that too, isn't he? But you know, there's nothing up front at all. Sonny, when he gets 1-on-1 down the left wing, you think he's going to cut in, score a goal. He just runs into trouble every time. You know, it's all like that. You know, it's repeat, rinse, repeat. You know.
That's true.
Yeah. And what did actually worry me a little bit is you saw Mickey van der Ven, and he's absolutely scared shitless of getting injured again.
Yeah, he is.
And so that's not going to be the player that we know and love. And it looks like, oh, bloody hell. Here comes Donna Cullen. Wagwan, Mr. Ricky. How are you, Donna? Nice to see you, my dear. Wagwan, Eugene. Wagwan, Mr. Yes. Oh, dear. I think the whole thing about Bergvall and Sarr, I'd like to discuss that. Bergvall was the only player who seemed to be showing a little bit of flair, a little bit of heart. And then to take him off for Sarr.
Yeah.
Okay, I do understand that perhaps Bergvall, I think he was sick during the international break. He didn't go away with Sweden. So maybe he was a little bit, well, it didn't look off the pace, did he? But maybe he was feeling a bit off.
Yeah.
No, Bergvall was the only player who's actually showing some passion, right? Showing some intensity, showing some ideas out there. You get what I'm saying? But when he takes him off, I mean, he's the manager. He has got his prerogative to do what he wants to do. Yeah. But the only problem is that, after when that incident happened and him going after the fans and all that, I just don't understand this guy. Why is he out there to divide the fan base, number one? And now he's attacking the fan base, right? Basically saying that, in the beginning when he was of his reign, when he was on the 10-game unbeaten run, he tells fans that you're allowed to dream, you're allowed to do this, you're allowed to do that. Then after that, when the fans said that, we didn't want to beat M City, so Arsenal, won't get the trophy and all that. And it all started from there. He's done things which is so mind-blowing. Guys, you don't do this, right? When you're trying to get the fans to cheer. You do this, right? You wave your hands in the air, right? So, and when the reporters ask him, he's deflecting again, he's lying again. Guys,
hello.
I really don't know anymore about Ange.
He's so passive, isn't he? He's so passive. He's got no, I don't know. It's not a Conte jumping about and screaming and, pulling his hair out. Yeah.
Mourinho pulling people's noses off.
Oh, that was fun. That was fun.
Mourinho.
It's the thing that really pissed me off, and that is I've been pretty angry since Thursday or Friday morning in his presser when he completely denied it.
Yeah.
And he does look like a dead man walking, quite frankly.
Yeah.
And I don't understand why they didn't pull the plug during the international break.
Yeah.
We have no chance against Frankfurt.
I understand why he's still there, because there is half of that fan base who still wants Ange to be there, because either they are Ange, whatever you want to call them, right? But there's another part of them is just called manager PTSD, right? The pressure is on Levy now is so high, right? If he sacks him, that other half of that fan base will join in the Levy out, brigade. And I think that's what is putting him in that position. And the other thing is that he's still in the Europa, league, quarterfinals. And I've been saying for so long, he'll still be our manager just as long, right? If he hangs on to the tail of the Europa League. But the thing is that, Thursday is coming up. That will be the ultimate proof, right?
Yeah.
On the Chelsea game, right? All I just wanted to see, right, us gel and come out and play football. You know what I'm saying? Show some understanding, show some cohesiveness, show some pattern of plays, right? Consistently, right? Not in patches, right? And after that, show some passion. But the problem is that I'm not sure. A lot of us, a lot of people are shouting is that the league is over, it doesn't matter and blah, blah, blah. And I've been saying that I want us to win, to build that confidence in the squad, to show that they know what they're doing. But the problem is that every game we play, right, it looks like we are going backwards instead of forwards. So I did a watch along in that game. It wasn't as boring as most of the other watch alongs, right? But as the game wore on, right, it looked, we're just going back to square one again, right? We're just going back to square one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was telling Eugene before we came on air, Kev, I was having a discussion with a fellow Spurs fan yesterday, who was very in, and he was saying, yes, well, you obviously don't remember back in 77 when we lost 21 games and we got relegated. And I kind of wanted to say, yeah, well, I was only 1 year old at that point, but I didn't. But I think it's a completely different scenario. Now, you would know a bit better.
Yeah.
Did we have as good a team as we have now then?
No, our team today is better all round. Better facilities, better treatment, better incentives, money-wise. We had a bare bones back in them days. It wasn't a squad team. There was 14 or 15 regular players. That was it. And they were played week in, week out, That was it. It was a hardcore team that played all the games, and the heads just dropped, and it was laughable every week. It was a shit show, but we laughed about it. We actually laughed about it because it was so grim. And the crowds dropped as well, and it should have happened the year before. We escaped by the skin of our teeth. The season before, was it, or 2 seasons before, when Chelsea got relegated, but. It was coming. It was coming because once Bill Nicholson left, or was asked to leave, or quit, or sacked, whatever. Then Terry Neal came in, didn't he, against all odds, and it was a shit show from there on until Birkinshaw came in. Well, Birkinshaw came in with Terry Neal actually, but it was a shit show waiting to happen, and it did. It was laughable and. We didn't care. We didn't care in the place because we didn't have the press and we didn't have the
social media,
internet, anything like that. So there was no, Monday morning banter in the factories and in the building sites and things like that, or wherever you worked or went to school. It didn't matter, if there was Arsenal and Tottenham, but it was no biggie in them days. It wasn't bragging rights or anything like that. There was they didn't care. They were more interested in their own team. It wasn't like toxic as it is now with fan bases,
Yeah.
But why
the fact that we were pretty crap?
Yeah. Why don't people actually understand this now, right? Back then, 77, we played 41 games or 42 games or something like that because it was out of
44, I think it was.
44. Sorry, it's 42. It was
I might be wrong. I know they changed it.
It was a 22 team league or something like that, right? Back in the days. Right.
All right.
And guys, we are 5 short of losing 21 games, and we got 8 more games to go.
Yeah.
We are playing 38 games, right? So you're going to bring that ratio into it, right? We are so lucky this season that Ipswich, Leicester, and Southampton are more shittier than us.
Yeah.
Right. And I've been saying this all this while, right? We are relegation battle fodder. And like you said, right, before we got relegated, right, the signs were there. Guys, the signs are here now, right? If we don't do something next season, if this regression continues, right? Because ever after that Chelsea game, right, we've been going backwards. That's all I see.
Yeah.
Right? And the thing is that I've been questioning this, right? Why don't we address our basic problems of not losing the ball, number one, right? Because we lose the ball all the time. Number two, learn how to pass 5-yard passes first, right?
Yeah.
Before you try to do that, the 30 yards or the 10 yards or the 15 yards. We can't even do that. We give the ball away so often. And those are basic football mistakes. And the only thing is that when you see basic football mistakes, right? That's what the manager, the coaches are there to rectify. And I don't see it because I do watch-alongs, right? And I see it all the time. And it gets boring. Yes, you know. And if you want to compare it even to Conte ball, Mourinho ball, even Nuno ball, right? Even though we are pragmatic and we're defending, but when we counter-attack, right, our heartbeat goes up because we know we are doing something exciting. Instead of having possession of the ball 60, 70% of the time, but just playing horseshoe football, going back and forth, right, and not creating anything, that is the thing that actually pisses me off. Right?
Yeah.
And you've got the keepers, they lose possession ridiculously. You know, they'll either kick the ball out into nowhere or they kick it straight to their players. And, you know, they try and play out from the back, but they can't do that either. It's rinse and repeat all the time. You know, it's the same thing coming over and over again. Losing possession or giving away possession. It's not losing possession, giving it to the other team, you know.
Yeah. And the thing is that you're giving, right? The thing is that not you're being pressured and you lose, right? The possession, we just give the ball away.
Yeah. Give it away, yeah. We've done it all season.
Yeah.
Hey, big up salary agent. Hope you're well in New Zealand, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, I haven't seen you in a long time. Right. Don't forget we're doing the protest along later. Right. So the thing is that with Ange as our manager, I don't know, right? But all I know is that because I'm Ange, don't care, right? Ever since after that 10 games when Levy came out with that PR stunt, when he said we got our Tottenham back, and I said, okay, that's it. It's all con job, right? It's all con job. Ange is there as a deflection and distraction because all the attention, everybody now is focusing on Ange, right? But at least we are moving. The only thing I can give kudos to Ange is, right? He has made the protest 10 times bigger. That's all.
Yeah.
Right? 10 to 20 times bigger. I'm going to give him that, right? That's all. Because if not, right, if we were winning games and all that, right, and we've been doing well with Ange ball, right, I don't think the Levy out, the last protest would be that big. And I tell you, the protest coming up is going to be much bigger because guys, we are still shit, right?
Yeah.
And one of the worst things about it is that we have to play Wolves next Sunday, and they could go above us.
No, I already said it, right? We're going to be 17th.
Yeah.
It's oh god, I haven't had feelings like this since when was it? 96 when Jurgen the German came back and saved us, and we beat Wimbledon 6-2. But yeah, it's another thing which is pissing me off that he's going on about how he's trusting in the kids and so on and so forth. Now, Gray and Bergvall have probably been two of the standout players this season.
Yeah, without that.
And as soon as VDV and Romero are back, Gray's back on the bench.
Mikey Moore.
Yeah, Mikey Moore as well. It doesn't sit well with me.
No.
And this bloke talks absolute bollocks in his press conferences. The press love him. The opposition fans love him.
The press are jumping on his back now. I don't think the press love him anymore. In the beginning, the press loved him, right? But now, he makes so many excuses, right? He's blamed the fans for not supporting the team, right? And then, he blames the weather. Then he blames the referees, right? And then what else? He blames the pitch, right? He blames everybody, right? Apart from himself. But the problem is one thing he has said, right? He will die on that hill when the time comes. So I'm just waiting for him to die on that hill.
Yeah, I think. I think
not really die on the hill. I mean, that's what I'm saying. When he said that, right, and when he said that we are comfortable in conceding, right, all those things that comes up from his mouth shows me where we are, right? Because number one, it doesn't matter unless, right, we are just basically a social experiment, right, by Daniel Levy to see how far he can push us. Right.
That's what I think. I think Daniel Levy is giving him enough rope to hang himself. So he say, "Well, it wasn't my fault." He's giving it free hand to bring us down, And I think he's trying to get out of a payout, but I don't think he's going to get out of paying him out the contract. I don't know,
It won't be as expensive as Conte or Mourinho, though, will it? So
no, I think he's drawing about £4 million a year. So it won't be more. Come on, man. That's like 3 times the price of Conte and Mourinho's salaries. So that's why most probably he's still around, is because of that, right? Number one, he's cheap. Number two, he's a yes man. Right? Big up to Philly. Big up Philly. Hope you're doing well. Right? Yeah. I hope you're going to the protest. You're going to protest. I've sent the link out in the group chats and all that. Do hop on for a while. Show us what's going on there. Later on Spurs Vision TV, right? Philly. Big up to you.
Yeah.
Right. All I can say at the moment, right? Ange is a deflection and a distraction for the fans. So the hate won't be all 100% on Levy, right? Because then it'll be split, right?
Yeah.
But the problem is now Levy has created an Ange cult, right? Where how dire we're going to be, right? He can't sack him. Because if he does, the numbers will double again. The Levy out numbers will most probably double or triple.
Yeah.
Right. So that's how I see it.
Yeah.
But to tell the truth, right? Like the game at Stamford Bridge, we know, right? The battle of the bridge scenario. We've been there before as Spurs fans. We don't win at Stamford Bridge, right, Kev? When was the last time we won at Stamford Bridge? That was when Dele Alli scored that wonderful goal. Right, that was in 2018.
Yeah, I think so.
18-19, right? And that's like how many years ago, right? But the problem
is
that
winning the Premier League at Stamford Bridge.
Yeah, one win, right? And the thing is that there were times during the game I saw some fight, right? But the problem, the fight wasn't in the football, right? The fight was, personal kind of fight, right? Going down, shouting at you, Romero. And when you have Romero there, there's always something's going to happen, right?
Yeah.
Romero, you're going to take shit, right? The what called the jostling in the penalty box when the corners are happening, right? And I don't know. But the problem is that we want to see the fight in the football. You get what I'm saying? The intensity, the passion in the football. But at this moment in time, I don't know. Maybe he's saving all that passion and intensity for the Europa League, right? Yeah. Or maybe all these league games that's coming up, right? It's just like a training session for him, right?
Yeah.
It doesn't matter whether we win or we lose. That's why it comes up to the next game against Southampton is going to be important, right? Because Southampton is shittier than us.
Yeah. But you look at the Battle of the Bridge though, and there was real hatred there. There was real. They were well up for it. Eric Dyer massively up for it. But you saw the argument, the normal brawl that happens. Only Bentancur really lost his shit there. The rest of them were just like, oh yeah, well, I don't really care. I just want to go home and play on my PlayStation.
Is that the South American fire that they have in them, right? Like Bentancur, Romero, and all that, right? They are brought up, atlas of football. You see, so maybe we've accumulated a bunch of pussies in players, right? With weak mentality. Basically, that's it.
Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, let's move on to the match today.
Hey, big up, Ryan. Hope you're doing well. Huddersfield fan. Are you guys going to get promoted in the championship? Yeah, hope you reach that, right? Hope you're doing well, right? Yeah. And let's just say Philly says that I would say the news around Levy's neck as well. Yeah. I'm not attending the protest as I have other priorities, unfortunately, but I respect everyone protesting today. Yeah, I hope the numbers. Yeah, big up, Philly. Hope the numbers will be good too, right?
Yeah. Well, apologies because I didn't change the name of the team at the top. It's still Bournemouth, but this is the team that I thought we would. I think we'd probably put out.
I'll be back in a second, guys. Bear with me.
Yeah, no worries. Yeah. Now I'm hearing word that they're going to rest Maddison, VDV, and Solanke. I think. Oh no, Heung-min Song, VDV. And Maddison. Why do you need to rest them? They've just come back from the bloody international break. I don't think...
That is the problem with Ange, right? We don't have a cohesive team at the moment. The cohesive first 11, and if you don't give them time on the pitch, right, to learn each other's, nooks and crannies and all that, right?
Yeah.
How are we going to gel and play the way that you want them to play, right? So that's why now, right? Every time when he does all these changes and shifts and all that, right? It confuses the hell out of me, right? So yeah. So like you said, all right, predicted Vicario will surely be in goal. Okay, that won't change. Okay, Spence, Romero, VDV, and VDV's got cramps. So much more. Archie Gray will come in. Okay, Gray and Romero is a good match, right? And to tell the truth, VDV and Romero during that Chelsea game, right, guys, in the first 30 seconds, right, the one ball over the top, they were running like headless chickens again.
Yep. And from penalty.
So how are we going to maintain this? But I don't know. You tell me, oh, what are you going to say? It's Southampton, right? If you really wanted to rest players, right, take them all out. Put in the academy. Put in Scarlett. Put in more, right? Then I'll say, okay, right, you're resting the rest of the guys, right? But when you're still doing this, they ain't going to gel. You get what I'm saying?
But that's another load of bollocks, isn't it? He came out, Ange came out and said that he was going to use Scarlett more. I haven't seen him on the fucking pitch since he said that.
Come on. We know what Ange does, right? Yeah, Ange is just another reflection of Levy. He'll say one thing here, and then he'll do another thing on the other side. So, I've come to the conclusion. I just listen to whatever he says on the press conference just to try to pick out what lies he's trying to, he's trying to sell out there, right? Yeah. This snake oil, right, will cure your impotence.
Yeah.
We're going to get some.
Oh, God.
Oh, bloody hell. So
that's what we are now, right? Impotent, right? Our football team is basically impotent at the moment. They can't score.
No.
What is it? I heard they said that we've had, I think that there's some kind of thing, we've had less shots on target in the last 10 matches than we have in, I don't know how long it was. But it's just, with this so-called Ange ball that's going to be attacking football from minute 1 to minute 90, where has that gone? What has happened?
Yeah.
He said, as Eugene said, I'm going to die on this hill. I don't think you really are, mate. You sort of, you maybe be lightly injured on a mound in a playground. You ain't dying on no fucking hill. You just your supposed tactics. You've changed them. You've tweaked them. Nothing is working. You've lost the players. Yeah, your arrogance and shit stirring to the fans means you've lost half the fans. He's got to go. He really is.
No, but the thing is that I've been saying for so long, he won't go, right, until something really drastic happens in the Europa League. Guys, my fear is, right, let's say we get through this leg of the Europa League, right, that will buy him another 2 weeks to 3 weeks, right, being a manager. And then we'll see what's going to happen in the league, right? If you really want to put the league away, right, and really don't care about the league, right, play the youth in the league. Yes, let the boys have a run out, and then save your first team or your first 15 players, right, to focus on the Europa League. But I don't see that, right? At the moment, we are still here more or less speculating on what kind of lineup he's going to put up against Southampton. There is a rumor what Jens is saying, right? He's going to rest Son, he's going to rest VDV, he's going to rest Madders, right? Okay, but who are you going to put in, right? If you rest Son, that means Odebear will go to the left, and most probably Brenda will go on the right. Okay, right? If you put Madders out, that means Bissouma or Sarr or someone's going to come in, Bergwall, right? And if you take out VDV, of course, Gray is going to go in there, right? Yeah. But what about the other boys, right? Like what Philly's saying. What about Ajayi, right?
Yeah.
What about Moore? What about Olusesi, right? But
they say you turned down a big move to a German team in the week.
Yes. Yeah.
Who?
Yeah.
Olusesi.
Olusesi. Yeah.
He wants to stay at Spurs.
He said he wants to stay at Spurs. Must be mad, unless he's been promised something. I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, the pack of dinners and a pack of chips again.
I was going to say we all know what happened to promises at Tottenham, don't we?
Yeah.
They get broken.
Yeah. Same with all of them.
Yeah. So let's go for predictions.
All right. I'm just going to be my Zen prediction as ever and always will be 4-2 Spurs win no matter what happens.
You think?
Kev?
Oh, God, I'm frightened. I'm predicting a loss, but I think we'll escape with a 2-1 win.
Yeah, and funnily enough, I'm actually going to be optimistic. I think I'm going to go for 2-1 as well, or 2-0. 2-1.
Yeah.
These guys, Southampton, are dreadful. Now, I know we ain't much better, but they have been, as Tottenham 1882 said, we must win today. Southampton are so bad.
But guys, don't forget, Southampton just drew with Crystal Palace. If I'm not mistaken, on Thursday, right? Or Wednesday or Tuesday.
Yeah.
Were they at home or were they away?
Let me have a look. They were at home.
Oh, they were at home. All right.
They were, and they only drew with a 92nd minute equaliser for Palace. So let's have a look at Palace's. Yeah, Palace were playing a quite strong team.
Oh, yeah.
I can't believe Nathaniel Clyde's still playing. Bloody hell, he's 34. Jesus. Yeah. But their last win was against Ipswich.
Yeah.
And then it's been loss. What is it? 2, 4, 6 losses, and then a draw against Palace. So,
what about our form? Let's look at that, right? We've lost to Fulham, we've lost to Chelsea. Who else we lost to?
Ipswich.
We don't look too good either, right?
No.
Leicester. We lost to Leicester at home.
Yeah.
Oh, God. And to tell the truth, right? We built this 1.5 billion pound stadium, right? To have this shitty home form. What the fuck's wrong with us?
Yeah, I know. Soft touch. Always soft touch, haven't we?
Oh, yeah. No, and the worst part is, right? When I was doing the watch along for the Chelsea game, right? When I see us pass the ball, right? We hit it. You get what I'm saying? And it's so hard for the other player to take and control the ball, right? And when I saw Chelsea pass their balls, right? They caress it, and the ball runs and smoothly goes to their player. While our players hit the ball towards the other player, it bounces off them. That's why they can't control it. So is it that we have such inept footballers, or is the tactics wrong, or these are just basic football standards that
you look at the coaches that he's brought in with him, and I don't think there's anyone there that you think, oh, yeah, he looks pretty good. And what I'm hearing about Ange's coaching methods is that he says to the coaches, I want you to do this, 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 and this, and then come back to me and let me know if it's worked. Don't you think you should maybe be out there directing the coaching as well?
He doesn't seem happy, does he? He seems to leave it all to them.
Yeah, they're stealing a fucking living, I swear. But look at what Tottenham 1882 said here. If we lose at home today, we would have lost to all the promoted teams at home.
I wouldn't be surprised, right?
That is fucking pathetic.
I wouldn't be surprised, right? Our home four is dire this season, right?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. A dire this season, right? And
that's someone I'd take back.
Yeah. No, did you see the interview with Eric Dyer, right? He says that technically they don't train on technique. That's why we're so shit, right? No?
Wow. Wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah.
That's the sad part, right? Nothing surprises me anymore with Spurs, right? That's why I'm zen. I'm zen about Spurs. The only thing I'm getting excited now is the protest. I don't even give a shit about the game.
So let's talk about that then.
Let's get
what exactly, how many people do we think are going to be there?
Honestly, guys, we had about nearly 2,000 the last time. It was good. It was great, right? I did the protest along thing, right? And of course, let's hope that this time we could get at least 3, just as long, right? The numbers grow, right? Or even maintain at the same level. That's what I see, right? Big up Ellie, big up Queen Ellie, right? Hope you're doing well, right? You will be at the protest and send me some videos or hop on live, right? The link is in the chats and all that. there's WhatsApp chats and all that, right? To show us some videos from the protest live, right? Later after the protest long.
Brian's over, isn't he? I think.
Yep.
Yeah, Mr. Daigle's over. Yeah, Mr. Daigle's over. So let's hope we get more, right? People coming in. If we can get up to 5K, that would be wonderful. Yeah, that would be nice. Because to tell the truth, right, the stadium packs in 60 over K, right? And if you're talking, we can't even get
10%.
That's 10%, right? 10%. You get 6K is 10%. 5K is about 8 to 9%, right? 2,000 is just basically about 2%, right? 2 to 3%, 2.5%, right? So let's see how it goes. And the weird part is, right, a lot of people who are going to the protest, right, are not even going into the stadium, right? Yeah, a lot of people are just going to march there, and after that show their displeasure, right? And after that they'll be going down to the pub, right, to watch the game. That's how I see it. I was watching one of the shows from Tottenham Way, right? This time, change for Tottenham, they are not going to do the sit-in because they tried to do it the last time because not many people were sitting back in, right? So that's the most important thing at the moment, right? Outside the stadium, repeat what we had during the first big protest that we've had about a month ago, right? So now this time it has to be bigger, right? And more louder, right? And let's hope, because what I feel is that the first one that was the successful first one that we did is a lot of people were still hesitant because they didn't know who's going to come and who's not going to come, right? And this time, since there's about 1,000 to 2,000 people there, maybe it will attract more people, right? And there'll be more people there to engage and to show our displeasure against our ownership, right? And to tell the truth, right, it's all result based, right? And thanks to Ange, right? That's why I said thanks to Ange, we didn't beat Chelsea or draw with Chelsea. Imagine if we did, right? And then it'll be a totally different story, right? Big up Tony Rodriguez, right? Hope you're doing well, right? And Southampton 2-2 Angel. Yeah, I think we're gonna lose. I said 4-2 is end result, right? But yeah, deep down inside.
I'd like to go back to what Tottenham 1882 is saying. It says needs lots more to engage, but you think the ship has sailed. Can you elaborate a little bit on that? That you think the ship has sailed? Why? Do you not think that it's actually gathering momentum now? That was kind of my impression.
Yeah, that's true. True. Yeah, I think it's getting momentum, right?
Yeah.
Because to tell the truth, right, I've been doing this since the Ori days. You know, when Brian Daigle standing with 2 or 3 person outside, the hospital way, protesting the training ground, protesting, right? And I've been doing this type of protest shows for so long. You get what I'm saying? Not? And to see the amount of people, the last protest, right? To tell the truth, I had goosebumps, right? I nearly cried, right? Because it's taken so long for them to wake up, you know? Simon. Oh yeah, that's true. Too,
that's a very good point. Yeah.
That's true too. Tottenham 1882, right? But a lot of people are saying, right, once they built that stadium, it actually took the soul of the football away, right? So maybe that's what happened, right? I would have rather stayed in White Hart Lane and won things, right, to have this 1.5 billion pound stadium. Simple as that. Yeah. If we built on that, right? A lot of us,
a lot for that.
Yeah. And the worst part is that increasing our capacity from 30, was it 40,000?
38, I think it was, or 36.
38, 36,000 to 60,000 now, right? He's basically diluted the hardcore Spurs fans.
Yeah.
Simple as that, right? And the worst part is that a lot of season ticket holders who gave up their season tickets, right? You know, most probably Levy will take a background check and see that whether you're Levy out or Levy in before I give you a season ticket, right? So
yeah.
Well, yeah, there's no chance I'm getting mine back anytime soon.
That's true.
I don't want to. It's not the place that I grew up going to. That there was, even when we were crap, there was still a great camaraderie, and you pretty much knew that most of the people who were there were not just there for the day. They were there because they came week in, week out, or 10 times a season or whatever. Now it's just tourist
show.
It's a day out. And I don't blame those people. You know, if they want to do that, it's I think it's ruining it for a lot of the proper fans who go every week. But I don't blame those people that they once in a lifetime or once every season, and they go and they have some food, and they have a nice day out. They don't really care about the football. It's that's your prerogative. But I think it's sad that everything's become so sanitized. Everything's become so nicey. Oh yes, let's go get some popcorn.
Yeah. Even I've been talking to the guys who nowadays you can't bring bags in, you can't bring this in, you can't bring that in, right? It's like you're going to board an aeroplane when you go and watch a football game, right? So the passion, I think, that's lost there now. It's also commercialized, and I've been saying this, right? Football is turning woke. You get what I'm saying? That's it. Yeah, that's all I can say. Right.
Yeah, season ticket holders next season will only get 1/19 of the cost that they paid next season. If you want to go, you need a membership, £1,000. That was about what I was paying when I gave mine up. It's £52.60 per game, which the club will then sell for close to double. Yeah, £100 a ticket, £50 membership. They don't want season ticket holders anymore, and then the club shop spend and food. Yeah, it's true, because most season ticket holders will have a local pub that they go to, and will probably get a burger from one of the vans before the game. They won't spend money inside the stadium.
Especially if you Levy out, you get what I'm saying? I mean, ain't gonna spend, right? But the sad part is, right, ever since he's trying to dilute the hardcore fans, and I think we have about 30,000 or so season ticket holders, right? Imagine that 30,000 or so season ticket holders, right? Only about, I think, 20% of them are more or less Levy out, and the rest of them are maybe another 50% is on the fence, and then the rest of them are all Levy lovers and all that. Maybe that's how it's being built up to. You can say that. And the worst part is that I've always encouraged, if you can afford it, hold on to your ticket, because you are the only people with the voice in the stadium. Those other people who go into the stadium now, right, won't do it. You can say that. They're there for the day. They're there for the enjoyment and all that. And to tell the truth, I don't blame them, guys. To tell the truth, I'm from Malaysia, right? If I'm coming from Asia or South Korea or wherever around the world, America, Africa, right, to go to see Spurs play, the amount of money that we have to spend, right, it's like a half a year of salary for us, to save up the kind of money to go, just to watch one game, right? So we can't blame them. But the problem is that, the soul of the football is gone. The only thing I just beg our club to do is, right, bring back some pride, bring back some passion. That's the most important thing. We don't have pride anymore. We are a banter club, Whenever we go and do shows and all that, we just have to keep quiet and sit in one side, right? Whenever you do panel shows with other fans from other clubs, right, we just have to keep quiet and sit on one side. That's the sad part. We can't put our chest out there and say that we won something. Right, like now, even right, when I do shows, right, I got a lot of Newcastle fans to come on. Last time when I used to do my daily weekly shows and all that, right? Imagine those guys have won the cup, right? And what are we gonna sit down and say, right? Right?
It does make me laugh though when other fans, like clubs like West Ham and Newcastle, clubs like that who actually say, oh yeah, their trophy cabinet is so empty, blah blah blah. Fuck off, fellas. We've won shitloads more than you guys have. So why don't you fucking pipe down a little bit? It's
a team like Fulham who've never won a trophy in their existence. It's kind of
sorry. What's that?
A team like Fulham who's never won a trophy in their entire history.
But the thing is that, right, I've been saying this for a long time, right? When we were a cup winning club, right, when we had the FA Cups, the League Cups and all that, when we were champions of the FA Cups, we won 8, right? And we were proud of it, right? And when I saw Sugar hand over to Enoch, right, I thought, okay, that is where we get to our next level. These people will bring us to the next level to start going for the league, going for the Champions League and all that. But the sad part is, right, it's not happened. Instead of what we've done is we focus more on sustainability. Sustainability has to be there. I understand, right? But we must invest the money, intelligently, right? Yeah. How can Levy come out in his financial statement and says that we have net spent £700 million since the stadium's been built, right? But we are 16th at the moment in the league, right? So who's going to be accountable for all that shit, right? And I lost my mind right? When, after COVID, when we had that first game back, right, against Aston Villa, when the chairman's statement came out and it was printed and he says that, oh, we know this, we know that, right? We want to get our DNA back, right? We've misspent 250 million pounds on players, right? If you talk like that, right, why the fuck are you giving yourself a bonus?
Yeah, every year.
Right. And it's not a £6 bonus, it's a fucking £6 million bonus.
So, I read something the other day that with the club financials came out this week, and it said that you'll be pleased to know that the club also paid £1.4 million rent to Bahama-based TH Property Limited, which is rent for using Lily-White House as the club offices.
Oh, lovely.
Because all of these properties were sold during COVID.
Yeah.
Oh no, sorry. Sold during 2013.
All right.
It's all owned by ENIC or whoever. And we're paying £1.4 million rent for a building which used to be, part of the club.
Yeah.
They're so sneaky.
That's why, right? Our club, right, has been turned into some kind of a Ponzi scheme kind of thing, because now when someone wants to buy the club, right, Levy will say that how are you going to buy the club? Are you going to buy the club, the name, right, the stadium, or are you going to buy the club, the land, right? He's going to go into these details, and then people are saying, what the fuck, right? I'm giving you £4 billion. I'm going to buy everything, right?
Yeah.
Right. Why? I'm going to give you £4 billion just to buy the Spurs football club, while the stadium and the land and all the other shit belongs to you.
Yeah, that's what he wants.
And then I have to pay off the debt. And the worst part is, right, a lot of Spurs fans don't see this, right? We are actually paying off the stadium debt because we spend the money, right? Even though I don't go to the matches and all that, right? But we still pay subscription to our cable subscriber, which in the end becomes the media money that goes to Spurs.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm kind of lucky there because my father-in-law pays for Viaplay. And that's where I watch all my matches.
You're a sneaky one there, right?
No, because we pay for Netflix and they get our Netflix, so it's
okay.
Very strange.
So you're paying something, right? So
yes,
share it.
That's true. Yeah. Okay, guys. I think we're going to wrap this up because you're coming on air in a bit, aren't you, Eugene? On Spurs Wasion.
Guys,
can I just say something about Thursday's game?
Yeah.
Did you see the price of the tickets for Frankfurt?
No.
£12.50. £12.50.
£12.50.
Yep.
Well, that's the Germans do look after their football fans, don't they?
Yep. That's the price.
The Frankfurt fans are paying £12.50, not the Spurs fans, right?
Spurs fans are paying £12.50.
Yeah, in Frankfurt.
Yeah, in Frankfurt. Yeah.
Gosh, the next Thursday game in Frankfurt.
I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm sorry. I meant to say in Frankfurt they're paying. The Spurs fans will be paying £12.50. Yeah, which is nothing. Yeah, in these days it's 2 pints. In Dublin it's 1 pint. In
the Tottenham Stadium it's 1 pint.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, nowadays it's all a big con, isn't it? Anyway, I butted in on the shutdown, so sorry about that.
No, it's all that's all good, Kev.
Right? Yeah.
You got anything else you want to say?
No, that's all I can say now. I'm torn. I want to watch the game today, but I'm not going to. I can't.
Yeah.
I'll watch it later. That's all I can say. Yeah.
I think I'll probably be cooking while it's on, maybe listen to it on the radio and have it on in the background and the telly so I can see the highlights if we do score.
Yeah.
And guys, I'll be doing the protest watch along or protest along, and after that straight down to the watch along, and I'll be sitting in this chair for the next 4.5 hours or so.
Enjoy yourself. I'm sure you will.
I hope you've got your wife to bring you regular amounts of food and water and
cigarettes.
I got some nuts hanging around.
Cigarettes.
Yeah, and the cigarettes. Yeah, they're all
or vaping.
Guys, don't forget, right? Please subscribe to RVTV, Shelf Side Spurs Show. My God, that's a tongue twister. And of course, Spurs Vision TV.
Yeah.
Okay,
and
guys.
right? We had to get Johnny back on, right? We missed Johnny, right? So yeah.
Yeah, no, John. Unfortunately, John takes his nephew to football on a Sunday morning.
Yeah.
So if we did it a little bit later, then he could probably come on. But again, the problem with that is then my wife and child are back, and that's when when the child's around, it's kind of like a hurricane in the front room. So it's not really that great for doing a show. Yeah, exactly. Okay, guys.
Right. Protest watch along. Right, coming up in 7:05 p.m. Malaysian time, 12:05 UK time. I guess it'll be 1:05 p.m. Where you are.
Yeah, in Central Europe, yes. Yeah, so I've just got to do a couple of things, and then I shall pop on until they come back.
Yep. All right, guys, take care. And always Levy out, Enoch out.
Levy out.
Yeah, all the best, guys.
Cheers,
Thanks
guys.
for having me.
Come on, you first.
Yeah.